Hello and welcome to AI Curious. My name is Jeff Wilser, and I'm here to give you a quick, bite-sized roundup of the week's AI news. Our top story: OpenAI has unleashed its newest model, codenamed Strawberry, and AI Twitter has a wide range of reactions from game-changing to dud. The quick primer: the model, the bizarrely named O1, also these names are all terrible. ChatGPT, O1, someone needs AI to make better names. Anyway, this model first takes 10 to 30 seconds to think before it answers. Now, obviously, it's not really thinking, but it essentially runs through the problem multiple times, getting a better and better grasp of the context, and can give us a more comprehensive answer. So, is it any good? Let's start with a bullish take. OpenAI's benchmarks showed that when answering PhD-level science questions, O1 crushed ChatGPT-4 and even did better than expert humans. It scored way higher than the old models on coding and math. Twitter user Maxim Lotz claimed that he gave it an IQ test and it scored a 120, smarter than a human, and no prior AI model had ever cracked a score above 100. Users across AI Twitter were boasting about how O1 is better at things like coding, crossword puzzles, riddles, math, and crafting business plans. My personal favorite example comes from Ryan Morrison, courtesy of Tom's Guide, who asked the model for a plan to terraform Mars, as one does. He then linked to a Google Doc that has the AI's answer, and it is fascinating. The new O1 model gave a 200-year project plan for how to terraform Mars, taking account for things like radiation protection, atmosphere generation, and resource management. You can see it yourself with links to all of this in the show notes. Okay, as for the skeptics case, the first one comes from, none other than Sam Altman himself, who noted, even when he released it, that the model is, quote, still flawed, still limited, and seems more impressive on first use, unquote. It's also true that, at least as of now, O1 does not include the bells and whistles of ChatGPT-4, like voice action, analyzing images, uploading files, custom instructions, and so on. Gary Marcus acknowledged that O1 is definitely impressive, but as a splash of cold water, he says it's not AGI or even close. It is not an across-the-board magical improvement, and that it failed some of his favorite benchmarks, such as playing games of chess. A sort of middle ground comes from Professor Ethan Mollick, a widely respected AI researcher who had access to the model for a month and concluded, I suspect that most people will not want to use O1 Preview for most things, as it does add a ton of time. But he adds that where it shines is complex work tasks where you are an expert facing a problem that you could solve, but not quickly. That does seem to jibe with the objective benchmarks by OpenAI. My take? This is what progress looks like. Also, this is what healthy competition looks like. It's a good thing that Google, Anthropic, Meta, Elon, and others are racing for better models. The UI will get better. That 30-second thinking lag will eventually get shorter, and we will continue to see AI get more and more powerful. For better or worse. In my book, mostly better, sometimes worse. Personal preference might tweak that. And now for this week's 3 quick things. Quick thing number 1. The White House announced a new AI infrastructure task force to accelerate public-private collaboration in advancing U.S. leadership in AI. Now, I think this is noteworthy for a couple of reasons, as it touches on both sides of the AI coin, and it has something for both the AI bulls and AI skeptics. It seems to be, in part, a way to help boost infrastructure and data centers for building AI, acknowledging how that will become crucial to the economy and national security. But the task force is also about climate change and exploring how to find responsible, clean, green ways of developing AI. And that's a tacit acknowledgement of the massive energy drain of AI compute. As Axios notes, one estimate of AI compute could account for 17% of all US electricity demand by 2030. Quick thing number 2, a longtime AI researcher, Fei-Fei Li, who's sometimes called the godmother of AI, just announced she's co-founding a startup on spatial AI. She raised a cool $230 million from VCs like Andreessen Horowitz. It's called World Labs. And the startup's mission is to create AI models that, unlike ChatGPT, are more focused on the 3 dimensions complexities of the real world. Now, I'm personally quite bullish on the future of humanoid robots, and I view this as one more example of that trend gaining steam. And finally, quick thing number 3. On a very sad note, as you probably heard, James Earl Jones has passed away. Now, you could argue that Jones has the most famous, most iconic voice in the history of the planet. Show me one person who has never quoted Darth Vader, you just can't do it. Well, right or wrong, that voice will now live on forever, saying new things thanks to AI. Futurism reports that a couple of years before he died, when he was in his early 90s, Jones worked with a Ukrainian-based AI firm called Spatial to clone his voice for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Apparently, he also signed away his rights to the voice, letting it be used and AI copied in the future. Luke, I am your auto insurance. Terrible impression, you get the idea. Is that blasphemous? Is that an exciting way to preserve a beloved icon? Is this unlocking creativity? Or is it cynical marketing cash grab? Whatever the answer, I think it perfectly encapsulates all the complicated questions that are now arising with AI. What's your take? I want to know. Leave a comment on the YouTube video if you like or hate that James Earl Jones' voice can be cloned in the future. And that's going to do it for the weekly AI Edge. If this is your first time to AI Curious, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, all that good stuff. Thanks again, and see you next time.